Jai to all. So, today in the lecture series of artificial intelligence, we will start discussing about the basics of AI. We'll try to understand what is artificial intelligence. So, regarding that, I just want to have a little bit of discussion about the two words, the combination of artificial and intelligence. If I categorize artificial as well as the intelligence, what do you mean by artificial intelligence? Intelligence, as you know, a human being, humans can do any kind of work. For example, if I want to have a glass of a hot water, what I can do is that I can go to the kitchen, I can have a pan, I can put on the gas, and I can have my hot water glass with me. But similarly, if I want a machine to do that, to do the same thing, is it possible to have like that? How we can do that? We can having a training to the machine. I can give a training data set to that machine. I can train that machine, and on the behalf of that, that machine can easily have the evaluation of hot water as well as the cold water, isn't it? So these categorization can be done by giving a certain data set, by giving a certain training, by giving a certain algorithms to that, by which the machine get intelligent enough to understand what we are expecting. So intelligence is naturally available to the humans, and the same intelligence what we want to have in the human beings. Instead of human beings, we also want in the machines also. But this is called artificial because it is not natural process. Naturally, the intelligence is present in the humans itself. But now the machines have to be completely intelligent enough to do each and every kind of a work which a human can do easily by giving a training data set, by having the algorithms, by having the learning of that data, and many more. We will discuss more about later on these parts, but basic understanding of AI is very much requirement. Fine. So artificial intelligence is basically a combination of artificial and intelligence. Just like in humans intelligence, of course, we want the machine also to conduct each and every work. For example, the packing of the utensils or the household works or any official works, all these kinds of work we are expecting to do by the machine. So we'll discuss more in detail about further. So if I talk about this picture, can you guess, is it a robot or is it a natural living thing? We are having a picture of a cat and we are having a picture of a XBot 4000. So are they both robots or they are not? Can they do household works? Can they do official works or not? This is basically a picture taken from a web series, a famous web series of 3 robots. In that, what happened is that this XBot 4000 was there, who was trying to evaluate the requirement of the humans. What are the humans? How do they survive? How do they eat? How do they do all the work? So this XBot 4000 was having a training only to understand the concepts, isn't it? And the cat behind this picture with the robot XBot 4000, it was trying to make him understand, to make the understanding by the robot, to have the better understanding that how the humans get survived, how they having the eating habits, how they eat the food. For example, for the eating of the food, just like a robot has been charged to have the working of a model or a working of a processing of its own structure. But similarly, for the human being to have the movements in the human, definitely we have to eat the food, and for eating of the food, we need a hard structure, that means our teeth to having a chewing of that food, and then after that we can have the energy from that food, and then we can have the movement in our body. But the robot was not able to understand because it was having a simply saying that if I'll take a burger, I'll put in the mouth and simply I'll swallow it. No, but it is not having that processing. So to understanding by that how it works, the cat tried to make him understand by giving him learning different kind of processes, by showing different kind of processes, that how a human being understand, how the human beings works, how the human being have the processing of all these kinds of food. So definitely it's a combination. This picture is simply having the combination of a robot as well as a living human being creature who is trying to make a machine better by giving him certain instructions, by giving him certain rules, by making him understanding by learning. This is an example of a self-driving car. We know very well there are a number of vehicles present in the market and they all are driven by the human beings. But now in the era of AI, what we want is that we want a self-driving cars. And for having a self-driving car, definitely the machine, the car is also having a proper training for doing that. For example, when the car is moving on the road, definitely it should have the knowing of the obstacles near to that car. on the right side, on the left side, or at the back side, or in the front side, how much space is to be maintained. If any other alerts is to be acquired, that where to park the car, what is the red light, how, when we have to move the cars, to have the movement of that thing, all these certain scenarios, all these what we can say, all these the data set, all the learning for that, for understanding how the movement of the car is happening, all these things is to be fed in the car. That means having a movement of a self-driving car instead of a normal car, it is to be having a proper training for that, isn't it? So having a self-driving car is not an easy task. It will have a typical training of that data. So these were the examples of the AI, the self-driving car and the robot. Now we are coming to the definition of an AI. What is an AI? It is the development of computer systems that are able to perform tasks that would require the human intelligence. Definitely without humans we cannot do anything. We need a human. Humans are much better person who can do anything. We are training the machines to do that work. We are all humans. We are having the feelings also, we are having the learning also, we are having the processing also, everything what we are having. Now what we want is that we want our machines to have the same training, so it's the same scenario, the same processing to be done by the machines itself. So there are a number of examples for that. Some examples we have mentioned here, some tasks we have mentioned here. For example, the visual perception. It is a common example of an AI. Speech recognition, it is again a common example. Decision making and translation between languages and many more. There are a number of examples for AI. More definition about the AI, a branch of CSC which deals with making computers to do things at which presently humans are better. Systems that learn new concepts and tasks can understand natural language or perceive and comprehend a visual scene and some more biological capabilities of the humans. Simply saying that we know very well that the humans more understand by the visualization. It's a human tendency. We are having a lot of text data, we are having a lot of theoretical concept, we are having maybe a number of theoretical knowledge of that, but understanding theoretical knowledge, we easily grasp about more about the images, more about the visual effects. That is the understanding of a humans. So similarly, we also want to get machine more get trained. Instead of textual data, instead of that rule setting, we are trying to have more information of the images itself. So that is basically a categories of the visual recognition, isn't it? Of course, computers are better in doing repetitive jobs like writing address on 2000 cards. Why so? ऐसा क्यों होता है? What is the reason for that? It's mentioned clearly. Computers are better in doing repetitive jobs. Okay, simply if I'll ask you a question regarding that what is the 5 cross 5? What is 5 on the 5? Or I can ask you, what is your 10th percentage? Or I can ask you a 12th percentage. You will simply tell me that, ma'am, my percentage is 68% or my 12th percentage is 98%, and what else? Isn't it? You know very well your 10th percentage, your 12th percentage, and if I simply ask a question, what is 5 cross 5? You know, yes, ma'am, 5 and the 5 and the 5 is 5, 5 is there, 25. You know very well your mind is working properly. But simply if I'll ask the question to you is that what you have eaten in 2015 in your lunch, are you able to recall that? Try to focus on your mind and try to tell me the answer for that. If I'll simply ask a question, okay, instead of lunch, I'll ask you, okay, on 2023, in the January itself, you have what you have eaten in your dinner on 26th of January, or you can say in any other date, 12th of January. Are you able to recall that? No, you're not able to recall that. So our human brain is basically having two categories of memory, auto-associative memory as well as the hetero-associative memory. Some cells do remember all these things, but some cells doesn't remember. The remembrance is only done by the definitely repetitive process. Simply saying that if I'll give you a paragraph to learn, if I'll give you any certain examples or certain tasks to do, you will first read out that, you will able to grasp about that thing. But if you repetitively do that, all these things, you will learn about all these things. Repetitive doing job again and again. So your mind is getting training about same thing, isn't it? It will again and again acquire that, again and again train about the mind by the same data which is given to you, and definitely that data will come out accurately. You getting my point? isn't it? So repetitive job, it's a human tendency of a mind that if we do the repetitive jobs, definitely we are able to learn from that, and definitely we are getting the proper answering for that. Similarly happening in the computers also. Computers, we are having a data set, we are giving a training to that, and definitely if we'll do the jobs again and again, if certain mistake has happened in the previous printing of that card, or what happened, or the writing of that card, definitely next time it will get enhanced, it will get improved for that. The repetitive jobs, definitely it will increase the efficiency of the computer also. You're getting my point, everyone? Okay. So humans are better in doing jobs like common sense, reasoning, driving car, theorem proving, etc. Isn't it? We are having a common sense. Abhi hame ye kaam karna hai, but due to certain reason, we are not able to do that task. For example, simply saying that today the weather is having hot, but somewhat after 10 to 20 minutes, the clouds are there, and we able to visualize that definitely it's about to come rain. So our common sense says that yes, I have to carry my umbrella also. I have to go by car also. We cannot go by scooty, and or many more things because it's about to have a rain. So our mind will get changed. Our common sense will tell us that what things we have to carry. But simply saying a machine is there and we are giving a training to do certain task, and it is not about working for in the culture of a sunny light or in a rainy light. Definitely on the behalf of the common sense, a human can predict what we have to do, but simply machine is trained for a certain task. It is not able to predict that what will happen if I am working on a sunny day, what will happen if I'll work on a rainy day. So that common sense should be acquired by the machine also. If this happen, then what I have to do? If this will not happen, then what I have to do? That means machine should itself start doing the evaluation process by their own and able to get the answers for that, and yes, definitely able to respond to that answers by having the proper solutions and also proper answerings for that. So getting my point. So this is mentioned here. Generally, these tasks being done by humans involve what we call as intelligence. Definitely acting as per the scenario. What is the scenario is? Isn't it? The scenario requirement is, जो मैंने अभी आपको एग्जांपल दिया वेदर प्रेडिक्शन का, अभी बारिश है, अभी धूप है, उसके अकॉर्डिंग ही मुझे अपने आप को चेंज करना है. Isn't it? So definitely the machine should have a certain kind of intelligence also. It should have a certain kind of feelings also. You're getting my point? If you remember the movie, a chitty was there, a robot chitty was there. It was basically a simple robot at initial stage, but yes, after that it was get developed, feelings were fed in that robot, and definitely it was completely become like a human. So these things slowly we want to get grasped by simply the machine. It is all about the intelligence. We want our machines to get more intelligent enough to work in the work culture. Further, intelligence is the knowledge plus search strategy for exploring knowledge base to draw useful conclusion. So what is knowledge here? If I talk about simply about knowledge, what is knowledge? We are having the three categories: the data, the information and the knowledge. Now what is data? What is information and what is knowledge? Yes, of course, knowledge is a very useful part. We are acquiring the knowledge only. But what is data? Data, you know very well, everywhere is data present, isn't it? On the internet itself, everything is thrown and dumped on the net, and that is a complete data. It is whatever things we are having, we are simply putting on the internet. A text data, a video data, the audio data, everything we are putting on the internet. It is all about data, isn't it? Now coming on to the information. Information is meaningful information, means what we are having to acquire for that. For example, as per my problem statement, simply I'm giving you an example for that. I want to categorize in my class who are the weak students and who are the strong students. So for that categorization, simply I am having a data set. In that data set, I am having a serial number, the roll number of that students of that class, the name category is there, and then we are having the percentage of that class. For example, the first semester presentation percentage, second semester, third semester, fourth semester, all the percentage, or maybe 10th and 12th percentage also. And also I am having the categories of what are their hobbies, what are their social media platforms, what is the father name, what is the mother name, or we can say what does their father do, what does their mother do, how many siblings they are having. All these categories we are having in my data set. That is my data. That is my information, of course, because it is belonging to my problem statement. This problem statement should have contains all this data. Okay, so now from this data, I need an information. Information means I need the meaningful information as per my problem statement. Simply saying that, as I told you that my problem statement is to simply identify the weak students as well as the strong students. So for that categories, if I pick simply the name and the roll number of that student, as well as I pick certain hobbies of that student, or should I pick the social media platforms they are present, उनका data अगर मैं pick कर लेती हूँ, can I have the solution of my problem statement? Can I identify the weak students and strong students categories of my class? No, I cannot, because I just want to have the percentage of that class, because definitely with the help of percentage, I can easily identify the which students are strong, which students are the weak category. So I'll simply take the roll number, the name, and definitely we can have the percentage of all the semesters, or the 10th and 12th percentage, or many more percentage, whichever correlating to my problem statements. I'll not take the basic like father name, mother name, what they are doing, whatever siblings doing. It is not required for my problem statement. So this meaningful information is knowledge for me. You're getting my point? That knowledge is the meaningful information required by me for my problem statement. Simply saying that if you're working on a Facebook page, on the Facebook we are having number of pictures uploaded, videos uploaded, text messages, voice messages, number of data. And simply saying if you'll give a problem statement to have a survey of the one single Facebook page, and I want to identify what are the requirements of the COVID safety factors. I need certain information from only that Facebook page. So I will exempt all the audios, all the videos, or all the text messages which is not having the COVID information. I will simply capture all those. It may be a voice message, it may be a text message, it may be an image message. All these I have to acquire from that page itself. The rest of the things is nothing requirement for me. So whatever I had acquired from that page, that is basically knowledge from me. Data was there, then meaningful information I had collected. That meaningful information is categorized into your knowledge. You're getting my point? So simply, I told you about the knowledge, and with the knowledge, we are in need of the search strategy. I had used the knowledge, I had taken the knowledge, and then after that, I'll apply the search strategy for having my problem statement solution. For exploring knowledge ways to draw useful conclusion. So getting my point, everyone? What is intelligence? Intelligence is basically the combination of knowledge plus search strategy. Okay, beta? So thus in AI, our objective is to simulate knowledge base and the search strategies in computer so that they can behave in a way similar to the humans. Isn't it? जैसे कि आपके humans काम करते हैं, definitely हम वही चाहते हैं कि आपकी machines भी वैसे काम करें. इसीलिए it's mentioned as objective is to simulate knowledge base and the search strategies in your computer itself. Okay. So intelligence is the ability to learn, understand or deal with new challenging situations. हमने मशीन को ट्रेन करा जितना हमें समझ में आया, बट येस एज पर द डिफरेंट सिनेरियो डिफरेंट सिचुएशन द मशीन शुड चेंज इट्स इंटेलिजेंस ऑल्सो. जितना ट्रेनिंग दिया उस पर नहीं, उसको खाली फोकस करना है. हो सकता है सिचुएशन सिनेरियो आपके चेंज हो जाए, isn't it? So for that part also we need that the human get intelligent enough, and of course the machine got intelligent enough easily by which the working processing can be done coolly and comfortably. Okay, beta. Further intelligence, one more definition, it is the ability to apply knowledge to manipulate one's environment or think abstractly as measured by the objective criteria. So what does it mean is that we have to manipulate the environment. What is the need of the environment? I had given you an example for the weather prediction also. अभी सनी था, अभी रेनी है. अब रेनी जब हो गया है तो मुझे क्या करना है? Being a human being, I know. But being a machine, the machine doesn't know. It should be change its scenario. कि सनी अगर होगा तो मुझे क्या काम करना है, रेनी अगर होगा तो मुझे क्या काम करना है, as per the environment. You getting my point? Or think abstractly or measured by the objective function. Clear, everyone? Intelligence is also ability to exercise thoughts and reasoning. हो सकता है कि इंफॉर्मेशन जितनी उसके पास स्टोर्ड है उसके थ्रू वो कंक्लूजन्स नहीं निकाल पाए. सो मे बी जो करंट इंफॉर्मेशन उसको फीड करी गई है और द हिस्टोरिकल डेटा उसके ऑलरेडी प्रेजेंट है, जो करंट डेटा है और जो पास्ट डेटा है, उन दोनों की हेल्प से क्या आंसर निकल कर आ सकता है, क्या प्रोसेस आपका आउटकम निकल के आ सकता है, उसके बिहाफ पर उसके थॉट्स एंड रीजनिंग का प्रोसेसिंग का होना. Isn't it? हिस्टोरिकल चीजों से लर्न करा, कहाँ गलतियां करी, कहाँ मिस्टेक्स हुई, क्या काम हुआ, क्या गलतियां हुई, उन सबको मैनिपुलेट करा, करंट सिचुएशन का डेटा लिया और उसके अकॉर्डिंग उसने एक्ट करा. दैट मीन्स द थॉट एंड रीजनिंग इज अप्लाइड टू बोथ द डेटा सेट. गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? Intelligence embodies all of the knowledge and data, both conscious and unconscious, which we have acquired through the study and your experience. Definitely. So, conscious data as well as the unconscious data, every kind of data we are feeding in that machine may be required by the machine or not, depending on the scenario. We can change the scenario also. And on the changing of the scenario, we can have the change in the problem statements also. We can have the change in the conclusions also. Okay. So, there are certain examples of intelligence. Highly refined sight and sound perception. That is the first example of an intelligence, isn't it? Thought and imagination. It is also a category of your intelligence. How a 3-year-old child learns what it is. For simply that, I can give you a simple example for that. एक छोटा सा बच्चा है बेटा, मान लीजिए उसको नहीं पता एनिमल्स के बारे में, से नहीं पता कैट क्या होता है या डॉग क्या होता है, ठीक है। उसके सामने एक कैट आए, उसने उसको देखा, विजुअलाइज करा, उसने देखा कि हाँ इसके छोटे छोटे कान हैं, सॉफ्ट है, इसकी छोटी सी पूंछ है, आंखें हैं उसके पास, तो उसने एनालाइज कर लिया, ठीक है इट्स अ कैट, इट्स अ कैट एंड जब भी कोई मतलब आएगा मैं तो उसको कैट मान के चलूंगी या चलूंगा, ठीक है। नेक्स्ट टाइम अ डॉग केम और उसके सामने उसी टाइप का क्रिएचर उसको लग रहा था, क्योंकि डेफिनेटली ज्यादा डिफरेंस उसको नहीं दिखाई दे कि आपके जो है वो कैट है या वो डॉग है। इट इज सिंपल थिंग कि एक एनिमल है, उसको हम कैट बुला रहे हैं, तो ठीक है ये भी कैट है और जो डॉग है वो भी कैट है। बट जब उसके सामने कई सारे एग्जांपल्स आए कैट्स के, 1 cat, 2 cat, 3 cat, then that child is able to differentiate between a cat and a dog. It can have an analysis part कि ठीक है कैट के जो कोई कान होते हैं वो छोटे होते हैं, पूंछ भी छोटी होती है या लंबी होती है, डॉग की पूंछ, आइज की अगर मैं बात करूँ आइज की शेप्स में कुछ डिफरेंस होते हैं, एंड मेनी मोर फीचर्स इन द डिफरेंशिएशन ऑफ बोथ ऑफ देम, द स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ दैट कैट एंड डॉग इज ऑल्सो. So that differentiation is done by the child, and simply the child brains can categorize cat. Yes, this is a cat and this is a dog. It's a simple process by a child also, isn't it? So the child can easily have the manipulation by the learning of different images seen, multiple images. और अगर यही काम मैं मशीन को कहूँ कि आपको कैटेगराइज करना है कैट और डॉग के लिए, तो क्या करेंगे? We'll have put on a data set to that machine of a cat, a number of images I'll put of different shapes or different scenarios or different we can views for that cat, by which a machine can understand that what cat it is and what dog it is, and it can simply categorize. If I give the machine an unknown label, एक unknown मैंने picture दी जिसमें मैंने categorize नहीं करा कि cat है कि dog है, by having a training of the previous data I had fed in that machine, it can easily manipulate and tell me that the picture you are showing currently is a cat or is it a dog. Okay, so it's how you can easily understand that how the child can work, how the learning power of a child can work. Similarly, we want our machine to do the same task. ऐसे ही हमारी machine learn करे. जितना ज्यादा डेटा सेट उसको अंदर हम फीड करेंगे, मीनिंगफुल इंफॉर्मेशन उसको हम फीड करेंगे, डेफिनेटली दैट मशीन विल इजीली एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड एंड इजीली एबल टू गिव अस द प्रॉपर सॉल्यूशंस फॉर दैट प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट. गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? सो सिमिलरली वन मोर एग्जांपल आपको यहाँ पर डिक्लेयर्ड है. एग्जांपल, giving you a cassette or asking to play a particular track mentioned on the CD, using electronic gadgets without the ability of reading and writing, or moreover asking you intelligently to play his favorite cartoon channel. उसको नहीं पता क्या है उसके बारे में, लेकिन उसको याद है कि ठीक है बार बार आप एक ही ट्रैक जब प्ले करते हो मुझे वही वाला ट्रैक प्ले करवाना है, वो सीडी में उस नंबर पर है, आप उसको प्ले कर दीजिए. उसको नहीं पता कि वो कौन से सीक्वेंस में क्या है क्या नहीं, उसको नहीं उसने पढ़ा ना उसने देखा. बट यस, सेम प्रोसेस रेपिटेटिवली जब उसके सामने डेली हो रहा है तो उसको पता है इतने टाइम स्लॉट के बाद मेरी रिकॉर्डिंग चलेगी या इतने टाइम स्लॉट के बाद मेरा वो जो है वो मेरा कार्टून वहां पर आएगा. उसे सिंपली इन्फॉर्म करा कि मम्मी या पापा प्लीज कैसेट आप या सीडी आप ये लगा दीजिए और 10 मिनट आप आगे फॉरवर्ड करके आप इसको प्ले कर दीजिए विदाउट हैविंग द अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ व्हाट द सीडी मटेरियल इज हैविंग. ओके, सो ऑल दिस इज पॉसिबल बिकॉज ऑफ inferences drawn by the child brains to read a set of patterns, makes it image in a mind and use it intelligently daily, isn't it? So these inferences will drawn in the brain. बार बार जब वही काम हम बार बार एक ही करने जा रहे हैं, मैंने अभी आपको एग्जांपल दिया कैट्स एंड डॉग का, जो आपके चाइल्ड जो है वो लर्न कर पाता है, तो उसने सर्टेन एक पैटर्न्स डिजाइन कर लिया अपने माइंड के अंदर कि हाँ ये कैट है या ये डॉग है या ये प्रोसेस आपका चल रहा है. उसी के बिहाफ पे उसने लर्न करके उसने क्लियरली डिक्लेयर करा यस आई नीड दिस या ये कैटेगरी है इसकी. यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? More it uses it's better it becomes towards reasoning and understanding. धीरे धीरे जब ये प्रोसेस को हम इंक्रीज करेंगे डेफिनेटली वो आपका रीजनिंग और अंडरस्टैंडिंग की तरफ चलता जाएगा. पैटर्न्स की अगर मैं बात करूं, I'll give an example here itself is that, for example, if I'm working in a crime and intelligence and we are working in a CBI and simply talking that we are in search of a murderer who have done the murder of any human. and we got the fingerprints of that murderer. Only two fingers fingerprints we are getting. Okay, मुझे सिर्फ fingerprints का जो data set मिला वो मुझे मिला 2 fingers का data set. Now how I am able to search कि वो जो क्रिमिनल है वो कौन है, क्योंकि डेटा सेट जो मेरे पास प्रेजेंट है, सीबीआई के पास प्रेजेंट है, इट इज हैविंग अ कंप्लीट हैंड इंफॉर्मेशन. वी आर नॉट एबल टू ट्रैक विद द 2 फिंगर्स कि ये जो क्रिमिनल है ये किस कैटेगरी को बिलोंग करता है या किसको बिलोंग करता है. सो फॉर दैट पार्ट हम क्या करेंगे, वी विल सिंपली हैव द पैटर्न्स ऑफ द कंप्लीट हैंड. मेरे पास 2 के पैटर्न्स हैं, इन्हीं 2 पैटर्न्स के बिहाफ पे, ये 2 फिंगर्स के पैटर्न्स के बिहाफ पे आई कैन हैव अ पैटर्न ऑफ अ कंप्लीट हैंड. I can have the making of the pattern of a complete hand. मुझे कुछ इंफॉर्मेशन थी, उस थोड़ी इंफॉर्मेशन को लेके मैंने अपनी इंफॉर्मेशन को कंप्लीट करने के लिए शुरू करा. जो डेटाबेस मेरे पास था कंप्लीट हैंड्स का, उसमें से मेरे काफी सारे एग्जाम्प्ट हो जाएंगे और जो मेरे कोरिलेट करेंगे कुछ पैटर्न्स के साथ, जो मेरे हैंड का कंप्लीट हैंड का पैटर्न निकल कर आया है, वो सॉल्यूशंस मेरे पास निकल के आ जाएंगे. जहां लैक्स में मेरे पास क्रिमिनल्स का डेटा था, उसमें से समराइज होकर मेरे पास कुछ पैटर्न्स आपके निकल के देंगे, कुछ सॉल्यूशंस मेरे पास निकल के आ जाएंगे. एंड आई विल इजिली आइडेंटिफाई दैट हु इज द मर्डरर और हुज फिंगरप्रिंट्स आर प्रेजेंट ऑन दैट मर्डरर सिनेरियो. So patterns are simply having also a patterns we are creating in the mind. That's mentioned here itself. Yes, patterns can be physically designed also on the behalf of certain values present. We can have the designing of a complete pattern data set also. Clear? Next is ability to converse, read and write. So intelligence is of course having the conversion power also, having the reading power also, having the writing power also, isn't it? Drive a car, memorize and recall facts, feels emotion, etc. All these are categories of your intelligence system. Integrated sum of facts, enabling to recall a face not seen, definitely for 30 or more years. इसका एग्जाम्पल अगर मैं देना चाहूंगी आपको, मान लीजिए मेरे पास कोई स्टूडेंट आता है, या इन अ मार्केट आई एम सिंपली रोमिंग, और सम स्टूडेंट, एक कोई स्टूडेंट है मेरा पुराना स्टूडेंट, उसने आके मुझे विश करा गुड इवनिंग. आई एम नॉट एबल टू रिकॉल कि ये बच्चा कौन था. तब उसने कहा कि मैम 10 years बैक आपने मुझे पढ़ाया था, आई वॉज दिस बैच पास आउट स्टूडेंट, और ट्राई टू, आप याद करिए मैम. तो मेरा ब्रेन जो है वो काम करना शुरू करेगा कि अच्छा 2010 पास आउट बच्चा है ये, और या 2015 पास आउट बच्चा है ये, ठीक है. उसने कहा मैं फाइनल ईयर का स्टूडेंट हो गया, फाइनल ईयर का स्टूडेंट है यार. माय पैटर्न्स स्टार्ट वर्किंग ऑन दैट. मेरे जो ब्रेन के न्यूरॉन्स हैं वो काम करना शुरू करेंगे. आई विल ट्राई टू कोरिलेट ऑल दीज पैटर्न्स के. ओके, फाइनल ईयर का स्टूडेंट है, 2015 बैच पास आउट बच्चा ये है, एंड ठीक है फाइनल ईयर का स्टूडेंट था. ओके, क्योंकि इस टाइम उसका जो फेस का सिनेरियो वो चेंज हो चुका है. उस टाइम वो जो स्टूडेंट था, इट वाज नॉट हैविंग अ बियर्ड, इट इज नॉट हैविंग, ही वाज नॉट वेयरिंग कैप एट दैट टाइम, ग्लासेस नहीं लगा रखे थे. अभी काफी पैटर्न चेंज हो गया है फेस का. सो व्हाट आई विल ट्राई टू डू इज दैट वी विल ट्राई टू रिकॉल ऑल दीज पैटर्न्स. मैं कोशिश करूंगी पैटर्न्स को रिकॉल करने की. धीरे धीरे जब मैं याद करूंगी, मैं सोचूंगी, मैं रिकॉल करूंगी, एट द एंड डेफिनेटली जब रिकॉलिंग करते करते मुझे याद है, अच्छा ठीक है ये वो स्टूडेंट था जो लास्ट सीट पे बैठा करता था, उनका एक ग्रुप था, एंड ही वाज वन ऑफ द नोटोरियस स्टूडेंट ऑफ माय क्लास, जो मुझे बहुत परेशान करता था, लाइक दैट. तो जब मैंने रिकॉलिंग करी, मेरे न्यूरॉन्स की प्रोसेसिंग हुई, आई केम टू हैव द कलेक्ट इन्फॉर्मेशन. कलेक्शन के बाद मैंने कंक्लूड करा कि यस, दिस इज द स्टूडेंट हुज नेम इज आकाश, हु वाज इन माय क्लास. So this is beautifully can be done by a human brain. So that is why it's mentioned here, intelligence is integrated sum of facts enabling to recall a face not seen for 30 or more years. Isn't it? Then to build and send rocket on the moon. इसका मैं एक और एग्जाम्पल आपको देना चाहूंगी. अगर आपको याद हो, आपने लोगों ने दृश्यम मूवी देखी होगी. दृश्यम मूवी वॉज एन अजय देवगन मूवी, और उस अजय देवगन की मूवी में उसने क्या कोशिश की थी, उसने ये ट्राई किया था कि वो जो सिनेरियो था कि वी वर नॉट प्रेजेंट इन दैट लोकेशन में, जब वो मर्डर हुआ उस लड़के का, उस बच्चे का, उस टाइम पर हम लोग तो यहाँ पर थे ही नहीं. उसने सबके माइंड को ट्रेन करा बार बार. उसने जाके सिनेमा हॉल में जाके उसने बोला, देन उसने जाके क्या कहते हैं जो बस का जो कंडक्टर था उससे उसने कम्युनिकेशन करा. एक रेस्टोरेंट में गए, वहां पर उसने बात करी, वहां उसने कम्युनिकेशन करा. देन जो भी जितना भी रास्ते में वो ट्रेवलिंग का था, उसने हर किसी को ट्रेन करा कि वी हैव केम हियर एट 2 and 3 dates, और मैंने यहाँ पर आके ये काम करा. लेकिन ट्रेनिंग उसने पूरी, जबकि वो गया था 1 और 2 में, बट उसने ये कहा कि नहीं मैं 3 और 4 के डेट पे गया था. तो उसने सबके माइंड्स को ट्रेन कर दिया अगेन एंड अगेन, और उससे क्या हुआ, वो पैटर्न उनके अंदर स्टिक हो गए. और जब पुलिस ने उन लोगों से नेक्स्ट क्रॉस क्वेश्चनिंग करी, दे हैव क्लियरली टोल्ड नहीं नहीं वो लोग तो वहां पर थे, हम उनसे वहां पर मिले थे, इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल कि वो वहां पर थे. सो रिकॉलिंग इज बिन डन कि ठीक है, क्योंकि बार बार हमने उसको फिक्स कर दिया. एक रूल होता है बेटा इसमें, हेबियन रूल. हैव रूल में क्या होता है बेटा, मान लीजिए यू नो वेरिएबल न्यूरल नेटवर्क की अगर हम बात करते हैं, वी आर हैविंग सर्टेन न्यूरॉन्स, वो जो न्यूरॉन्स आपके कम्युनिकेट कर रहे हैं फ्रॉम इनपुट टू द आउटपुट टुवर्ड्स मूवमेंट चल रही है। फॉर एग्जाम्पल मैंने आपके सामने एक फ्रूट की बास्केट रख दी है और मैंने ये कहा कि उस फ्रूट बास्केट में आई हैव टू कैटेगराइज कि ये जो फ्रूट्स हैं ये किस किस कैटेगरी में आ रहे हैं, एप्पल की कैटेगरी में आ रहे हैं कि बनाना की कैटेगरी में आ रहे हैं, ठीक है। तो फ्रूट की जब कैटेगरीज हम कर रहे हैं, वी आर ट्राइंग टू एक्सट्रैक्ट द फीचर्स ऑफ दोज फ्रूट्स। मैंने एप्पल के फीचर्स को एक्सट्रैक्ट करा और मैंने बनाना के फीचर्स को एक्सट्रैक्ट करा, ठीक है। फीचर एक्सट्रैक्शन के बाद जब मेरे पास वो फ्रूट्स वन बाय वन मेरे इस मशीन के पास आए, डिजाइनिंग के लिए मेरे पास आए, तो मुझे पता है फीचर एक्सट्रैक्शन में उसने कलर को एक्सट्रैक्ट कर लिया, उसने शेप को एक्सट्रैक्ट करा और मेरे न्यूरॉन्स का रिस्पॉन्स आ रहा है, ठीक है ये कलर येलो कलर है, ठीक है आई कैटेगराइज इन द बनाना, रेड कलर है आई कैटेगराइज इनटू द एप्पल। अब जब मेरे न्यूरॉन्स मेरे काम कर रहे हैं, एक सर्टेन लेवल पे आके ऐसा हो रहा है कि वो जो आंसर है वो गलत दे रहा है, वो मशीन गलत दे रही है कि नहीं मैंने बनाना रखा है, बट वो कह रहा है कि नहीं बनाना नहीं है, ये तो एप्पल है। इट इज नॉट एबल टू हैविंग द कलर और इट इज नॉट एबल टू हैविंग द इमेज साइज, वो प्रॉपर्ली उसको वो कलेक्ट नहीं कर पा रहा। मुझे पता है इसका आंसर ये है, बट ड्यू टू सर्टेन रीजन इट इज नॉट एबल टू रिकॉल दैट, इट इज नॉट एबल टू हैविंग गिविंग द प्रॉपर सॉल्यूशन फॉर दैट। तो मैं क्या करूंगी, उस न्यूरॉन को बार बार फायर कराऊंगी, बार बार सॉल्यूशन कहूंगी कि नहीं ये येलो कलर ही है, आपको बार बार उसको मैं फायर करा के उस न्यूरॉन को अगेन एंड अगेन मैं उसको स्टिक करूंगी एंड डेफिनेटली आई गेट अ सॉल्यूशन फॉर दैट। तो इससे क्या होता है, आपका हेबियन रूल क्या कहता है, हेबियन रूल यही कहता है कि बार बार जब मैं न्यूरॉन को फायर करूंगी, न्यूरॉन को फायर करने का जो सॉल्यूशन मुझे रिक्वायर्ड है उसी सॉल्यूशन को मैं प्रोवाइड करूंगी एट द आउटकम, ठीक है बेटा। सो दिस इज लाइक दैट हाउ द अवर ह्यूमन ब्रेन्स वर्क। द हेबियन रूल ऑल्सो, जो मैंने आपको दृश्यम मूवी का एग्जाम्पल दिया है उसके थ्रू भी यू कैन एबल टू नो कि हाउ इंटेलिजेंस वर्क्स फॉर द ह्यूमंस। सो सिमिलरली वन मोर एग्जाम्पल, टू रिकॉल लर्न कंसेप्ट्स इन द एग्जाम हॉल or solving a completely new problem in exam using knowledge acquired in past through experience using your reasoning। कई बार ऐसा क्लास में हो जाता है बेटा, आपको टॉपिक पढ़ाया जाता है बट उस टॉपिक के रिगार्डिंग डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन नहीं आता, घुमा के क्वेश्चन आता है, तब आप कोशिश करते हैं नॉलेज को एक्वायर करके की और उसके बाद कंप्लीट सिनेरियो को निकाल के सॉल्यूशन देने की, इसीलिए तब आपकी थॉट एंड प्रोसेसिंग वर्क करती है और आपको सॉल्यूशन निकल के आते हैं, ठीक है बेटा। So that's it about the basics of artificial intelligence. In the next scenario or in the next class, we'll discuss the dimensions and evolution of our AI. Thank you so much.